Hello, welcome to a Mirror Match broadcast. I'm JTN, and with me is Chris. Should I ask how are you doing?
You should.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
Oh, why? What's the reason?
Because I'm
are you just
casting
saying that?
StarCraft 2.
That's right. I'm
That's
excited too, because we have a very high level replay right now. We have Headies as the blue Protoss. He is a 2300 diamond Protoss player. And on the bottom right is our red Terran player, Bonesy. I assume he's also fairly high level, so I'm excited. This is going to be a pretty intense game considering it's on Jungle Basin.
Yep, definitely Jungle Basin. A few things to keep in mind. Very easy to take natural. The only way your opponent can access it is through these destructible rocks or through the entrance to your main, which is of course very easily choked by both players actually.
Yeah, so we'll probably see very fast expansion builds from both players considering the expansion is so safe to take, and then really intense 2-base play from there on out. So, 2-base play is probably the most intense game, like the most intense type of game, because
yeah, especially
you have enough resources to pump out those really hard-hitting units like the Colossi, and like maybe some Thors, maybe some Banshees. You don't really see those units on 1-base play.
Yeah, definitely, and because it's a Terran versus Protoss, you can start getting the really, tier 3 units out on 2-base, whereas with Zerg, typically you want, a third before you start pumping Broodlords or something like that.
Yep, the one thing about this map is that the third expansion is normally a very hard expo to take. You really need very good map control, and you actually, need to move out and assume some kind of map control, since the expansions are actually way closer to your opponent than your natural expansion. So, we'll expect a lot of early aggression, maybe some, pushing up to your opponent's ramp in order to secure those crucial third bases.
Yeah, Bonesy just getting his orbital command now. He placed his barracks near his command center so that he can protect it from any sort of probe harass. Terran players don't tend to wall off against Protoss anymore, which is personal preference. Sometimes I do, if I'm depending on what player I'm going against.
Yeah, if you're really worried about like early Zealot pressure, then obviously you should wall in. But a lot of Protoss have stopped doing that since the Zealot build time got increased a couple patches ago. So we mostly see it really like Stalker oriented play, and walling off when they're going Stalker is actually pretty bad because you'll lose those supply depots. They're basically free kills for those Stalkers.
Yeah, Bonesy getting his second barracks down, so pretty standard play against Protoss.
Oh, we see a reactor on the first barracks, so we're going to see a lot of early Marine play. Probably some kind of early pressure.
Yeah. Now, if he is going for the early pressure, do expect to see a Tech Lab thrown down on the second barracks. Tech Labs, of course, produce faster than reactors, so he would have to get that out pretty quickly so they can start getting some upgrades. His SCV is still getting a scout on the base, being followed by a Zealot, but SCVs outrun Zealots, so...
Yep, both players doing pretty good scouting. Headies scouted earlier for the Fast Expo, didn't see anything. And obviously Bonesy just scouted the Expo, so both of them know that they haven't each other haven't thrown out their expansions yet. And Bonesy is actually... what's he doing with his SCV? He's probably checking for a
supply depot, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and he's got a supply depot there for a little bit of extra vision.
Yeah.
I think he should put that a little closer to the edge, because at that position you can't see past the rocks. So
yeah,
if he puts a proxy pylon by the ledge, he could warp in units across that little cliff there. And actually we see Headies throw down a probe over there. He might be going for some kind of proxy pylon actually.
And he is moving out with a Stalker and a Zealot to Bonesy's front entrance. Bonesy does have a bunch of Marines here, so he should be able to hold that off, no problem.
Yep.
He does throw down his command center, so he is going for a rather fast expand. And the Protoss isn't going to see this, although his 2 units are moving up the ramp, trying to see what they can see. Oh, the Stalker isn't going to get... Oh, no, he's not going to get picked off.
Good thing concussive shells wasn't researched yet. But smart move by Headies, just poking his head up a little bit. He sees such a big infantry force that he's going to be a little bit scared. He's going to start warping in units. And he has that sentry out, so he should be able to force field the ramp and stall for time.
Yeah, Heady did throw down a proxy pylon at the back of Bonesy's... Well, I guess it's not really the back, but...
yeah, but I don't think he's going to use it very soon. I mean, you really need to be aggressive in order to use that backdoor pylon. And right now... Oh, very good force field there, cutting off that one Marine. Any unit you get for free is always good, even if it's just one Marine.
Never refuse free things. So, it does look like Bonesy is going to be picking up fight with these destructible rocks at the back.
Oh, that's an interesting position to kill those rocks. I've never actually thought of shooting them from the other side like that.
Yeah, and in fact you can warp in units from there if you're Protoss as well. So with the long range of the Terran units, you can pick that off. So it does look like he's going for that. He doesn't know... Yeah, no, he doesn't know that Heady does not have Expo yet. And in fact, it does look like Heady is teching up a bit, getting the Zealot charge.
Yep, Headies is going by the rocks, and he does see the rocks getting destroyed, so he's going to know what's up. Probably going to start warping in a little bit more units. Hopefully throws down the expansion soon.
Oh no, he's going in for attack from behind.
Oh,
good time
Zealot
push.
charge
All the
is
Zealot charges
finished.
are finished.
Oh man. If we see some good force fields, this infantry force is going to get totally demolished. Throw up some good force fields, Heady. Come on.
There you go. Cut them off. Oh
nice.
no, but that wasn't so good. Oh, very, very good micro high Headies. Force fields.
That would have been almost fatal for Bonesy if there wasn't a tiny little gap between those two force fields. That would have been really bad. But you know, force fields such a key spell to land just right, and Heady's just misclicked a tiny little bit, and he is forced to back out.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Zealots weren't able to get in to those force fields or into the little walled-off section because of those force fields. But he is throwing down his Nexus now, although he is going to be a little bit behind.
We see 5 barracks from Bonesy. This is going to be a huge push. He's not even bothering to tech up. So we're going to see him trying to end the game right here with those 5 barracks. He's probably going to try killing those rocks and just heading in through the back.
Yeah, at the same time, he's got his own natural up, so he's ahead, and I'm pretty sure he knows it. We do see 5 barracks coming up, so he is going to be going straight bio. The combat shield is coming up for the Marines, which of course gives them plus 10 HP. Always good to get.
Yep. We finally see Headies throwing down his robotics facility. It's probably going to go Colossi, seeing that heavy infantry ball. Colossi, you know, very good against infantry units, and I don't think Bonesy's going to be able to get Vikings anytime soon. He has so many barracks producing. He has to throw down a factory and a starport to get to those Vikings, and if Headies gets that Colossi soon, then he's going to be able to really dominate this.
Oh, Bonesy moving in from the back of Heady's natural, just as Heady is transferring his probes. Uh-oh, this could be very, very bad
for
Heady.
If he gets
lose
all these probes.
Oh, and he's stimming, trying to take out as many probes as he can, trying to do the economic damage that he really needs to do right now. Heady charging in with his Zealots. Is he going to be able to land any good force fields?
No, those sentries are just too slow. They need to catch up in order to land those force fields. They're just a little bit too far out of range. Very good kiting from Bonesy, but I think no, Heady's gonna back out. I thought he had enough units for that, but he needs to warp in a bunch more Zealots. Yes, there we go. And a good force field, defensive force fields, gives him enough time to macro up another army before Bonesy can bust in.
Yeah, now do watch where Heady placed his proxy pylon on the bottom of the map. Like you said, Justin, that pylon can warp in units to the right-hand side, so Bonesy should have put that supply depot a little bit closer to the rocks, and you would have seen that. So this could be a bit of trouble for Bonesy.
Yeah, great force fields. I mean, he has so much time to just warp in extra units, and Bonesy isn't really reinforcing. Actually, he's reinforcing with a lot of units. Every second that goes by, Bonesy's army just quadruples, man. I don't even know how he's macroing so many units.
Yeah, at the same time, I'd like to see him pull the wounded units behind, because those guys are going to get picked off so easily. Oh, but Heady warping in more Zealots. They're going to charge into the Marauders. Is he going to be able to do enough damage?
Force fields.
Force fields go down.
That army was just cut in half. That's how you use force fields, ladies and gentlemen. Half of Bonesy's army just got demolished, and let's look at the army count. Oh man, that's just showing the story right there. Actually, I am looking at the wrong supply. Bonesy's actually ahead.
Yeah, Bonesy is ahead because of this early natural. Oh, but it does look like Heady is warping in Zealots from the back. He does see Bonesy's Expo now, charging in, trying to do as much economic damage as he can. Bonesy does see this, pulling his SCVs off the line. Is he going to be able to reinforce the SCVs fast enough to get rid of this pesky little annoyance?
Yep, you know, that's what you have to do when you feel like you're behind. You really have to do some kind of harassment to draw your opponent's troops back, and that is exactly what Bonesy is doing. He is forced to pull back his units just in case more Zealots are warping in, and they are. So, you know, very good from Headies. You really got to do something in order to catch up.
Yeah, now this attack does 2 things for Heady. He puts pressure on the Terran so the Terran can't attack, because his attention is focused on the natural. At the same time, he's doing economic damage with a few Zealots, so not very expensive for him, but it does look like Bonesy is going to see this pylon and is going to pick it off.
Yep, and you know, it gave him enough time to start pumping out Immortals. The first one is halfway done, I think, the first one? Yep, that's the first Immortal, halfway done. And it forced, like you said, it forces Bonesy to pull back, and he is teching up right now. Looks like he's getting a reactor on his factory, gonna be switching that with the starport to start pumping out Medivacs and Vikings, which will supplement his infantry ball very well.
Yeah, it does look like Heady is moving out to the center of the map with a good army combination of Zealots, Stalker, Sentry, and an Immortal.
Yeah, that's a lot of Sentry. It's going to have so much amount to put down those crucial force fields like we saw earlier. It's all going to come down to those force fields, you know. You really need to make sure those force fields go exactly where you are. Cage off those Marines.